seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Accelerated Graphics and Science 101 East Renfro, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Science can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
There we go. Now we're on. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Positivity Toolbox. I am your host, Diana Roberts, and I've got my special guest with me. I'm so excited to have her back on the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just so much fun.
It really is.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Yes. Happy Monday. And so you are
Vanessa. My name's Vanessa. and on, if you want to Google me, it would be Vanessa of Cairo or Vanessa Raqs, which is not spelled the normal way. It'd be Raqs.
Oh, I pronounced it wrong earlier.
Raqs Sharki is the Egyptian word for dance.
Yes.
So that's how I took that name for my social media. So that it would be consistent with my website and Instagram and all that stuff. So Raqs, Vanessa Raqs, or Vanessa of Cairo.
Yes.
From Texas.
Yes. But you lived in Egypt.
Yes, I did. 12 years.
So we really didn't get to touch on that too much last time on the show.
Yeah. Oh boy, living in Egypt was amazing for a myriad of reasons, but it was like where I learned everything. It was kind of like the first time in my life that I had maybe, had really difficult times. You don't realize it, like all the things we take for granted being
Yes.
here in America, like, just having access to things. And Egypt is a very rich country, but there's a lot of, a lot of differences there culturally. And also just like sometimes, the electricity will go out just randomly or, water will get cut. And it has nothing to do with, you know, it's just, something can happen on the grid and it goes out and you just have to get used to stuff that here we just take for granted every day.
Right.
So yeah, no, I learned a lot of lessons in life living there. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Right. I agree. And so, I mean, I got to live in Germany. It wasn't exactly like Egypt. I mean, I'd love to go see Egypt
You have
personally.
to. No, it's fantastic. I've been to Germany
You
twice.
yes.
Very clean.
Mhm.
What I loved about Germany is it didn't matter if it was a poor neighborhood or a rich neighborhood. They always took pride. Everything was they had, flowers in the windowsill. It didn't matter like
No.
what kind of neighborhood it was. It was still they found beauty and they made it look its best. And that's something I think we could do. The first time I went there was 2004, and I remember being very impressed and thinking, we should do that here. Like, we, some people don't take pride in the, in what things look like and how they
Right.
present stuff, and they had really good recycling even back then,
Yes.
way back in the day. And everybody riding bikes and being active
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like
I miss
that.
that. I miss
Yeah.
riding I used to ride my bike everywhere in
It's
Germany.
such good exercise. Of
Right.
course, I did get a little like overzealous. I thought I was going to be good, and I jumped the curb, and then I splatted on the cement like in front of a party that was on a balcony, and all these Germans were like, "Oh!" When I fell, they were like, it was like they're like, there's like their little music, whatever it is,
Their
they're all like drinking their,
Or
little,
techno.
their prosecco. Who knows what they were having? Anyway, their beer. Anyway, they're they're having like a little party out there, and I'm like going by feeling like a badass on a bike, and and I just like hit it so hard, and they're all like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Don't worry about me.
I love it.
I'm just a stupid American."
I love it.
Yeah.
No, but they love that though. Like I know that they loved. Some of them did. There were some that loved, me being American and being in Germany, and then there were those that didn't. But I went to German school, so I actually took part in all of the culture like you did.
Mhm.
And I think there has to be a lot of open-mindedness to that, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, first of all, to go to a foreign country anyway, okay, if you go there for vacation, and this is what I really do encourage people to travel, because when you travel, you get a larger perspective on just how other people live. America is a wonderful country, and I'm proud to be an American for sure. So don't get me wrong here, but there's a lot of things that we can learn from traveling.
Absolutely.
Number one, you see that there aren't that many differences. Sure, there's differences, but we're all people. We all need to feel important. We all need to feel loved. We all need to feel respected.
Yes.
That goes anywhere you go in the world. It's that seems to be consistently the thing that we have in common. But when you go to other places, it gives you gratitude for the things that you have in your place that you're like, oh man, or you go, wow, there's no traffic here. Wow, why do we have traffic? Well, wow, they've got all these like, it's different. What do they do? And we learn, we can kind
Absolutely.
of take some things from different cultures and different places. And I think that there's a lot of people that miss out on that. They stay in a bubble and they don't understand that there's a lot of really beautiful, cool stuff out there in other places, and we can learn from other people and other cultures. And then we learn from what we like, and we
Yeah.
learn from what we don't like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you don't like the food. Well, be open-minded. Go to a different restaurant and try something. But yeah, to me, traveling to Egypt, I mean, the beginning, part of the beginning of civilization. It's just a magical place. The pyramids, the Valley of the Kings. She was just making sure that her microphone worked, everybody.
Exactly. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Let me try now. That seems to work. Y'all can let us know.
I was like, I guess I've got, yeah.
Well, it happens,
Yeah.
guys, here. So, Diana makes it look real easy. And for me, it's not that hard to talk, obviously. But, it's sometimes you think about it. I think sometimes it would be good to have people, because, it's real easy to look at something and go, oh, I could do that. Or, oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
How many times do we do that all the time?
I do it all the time.
We criticize, we look at actors and go, oh, I could do that. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, could you?
Well,
I mean,
anybody could, I believe.
yeah.
But, it's like sometimes
Those are a lot of lines to memorize, though, especially if you have a big part.
Yes.
I mean, I say I could do it. However,
I've
memorization is not my strong suit.
you know what I've learned, and I think this can go with anything. If you really want it,
You can do it.
you can do it.
I love that.
If you really want it, you can do it.
Absolutely.
Why doesn't that be our theme?
Well, so one of my things that I say to stop limiting yourself. You're the only one holding yourself back, right? And so recently I have come. Well, we'll come into that. I want to talk till.
No. Recently, what?
Okay,
We're
so
going there. We're going there. We already
we're
started.
going there.
We done
Um,
started.
So recently I started really evaluating and really taking some meditation time on why am I stuck still in the same place, even though here I am, providing all of this great wisdom and advice to others, right? Why am I still stuck in the same position and spot that I feel I have been for a while now? And so I was really evaluating that and really like listening while I was meditating, really listening to what really might be holding me back. And of course, it's you, right? I mean, I know this, I preach it. It's myself. I was giving myself those limitations due to emotions. We all have an emotion attached to something, right?
Sometimes our emotions, though, are based on a reality that doesn't exist.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And fear is the biggest
Okay,
reason to
yes.
hold yourself back.
Yes. Okay. So remember last time I was on and I was
Yeah.
talking about the 4 Agreements, that
Yes.
book
Yes.
by Don Miguel Ruiz. I promise he's not paying me to advertise him. The man.
Well, I need to
but
talk to him
it's a
about
great,
that.
It's a wonderful. No, this book. So I started reading another one of his books, which is and I forgot the name of it already.
I have
Sorry.
seen that
The
book. That's why I
Mastery-
remembered
The
it.
Mastery of Relationships or something like that.
Yes.
But it's talking about fear. It's talking about fear being like a wound, like on the skin.
Yeah.
And when we are little, we don't have any of these wounds. You see 2 and 3-year-olds and they're just playing and they're happy and they're not worried about the future. They're not, if something happens to them, maybe they'll defend themselves, but like they don't have those wounds yet.
Right.
And then, by the time we're teenagers, we've got these wounds and it's like, what would it be like if somebody goes to touch you? And you know what I mean? But the wounds technically are fear.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how we create these realities and it's what we believe in ourselves. It's what we believe about ourselves.
Right.
So,
and a lot of that belief system comes from past interaction with others.
Absolutely. So let's say something happens to you and then, okay, like I have a friend, we were just talking about this. I have a couple of different friends, but one in particular had gone through a very kind of just horrible, destructive, toxic, long-term relationship with a narcissist. And he was talking about he didn't even really realize that that's what he was going through.
They don't usually.
He didn't know. He didn't even understand what that was.
He's a very giving person, isn't he?
Yes, so kind.
So yes.
So he was going through all of this stuff, having absolutely no idea. And then it wasn't until, and then it made him doubt himself and all this stuff. So it's like, then after, okay, so then you get over it, right? But then you have this shield, because you're guarded and you feel, can I trust people? What is real anymore?
Right.
So I think a lot of us go through that. Sometimes it's more traumatic than others. Sometimes it's just some idiot at the grocery store.
Right.
I mean, it could be anything. And not always so serious, but
right.
So you wanted to say,
I want to touch on the narcissistic behavior. So, somebody that has has narcissistic behavior is somebody that is constantly blaming. They have no responsibility for anything.
Everybody else.
Yeah, they have no responsibility for anything that happens in their life. It's always the other person in their life.
Correct.
And narcissistic people tend to be drawn and
to
bring
fabulous
in
people,
to amazing,
to make them look good.
giving people, because they're very passive. They're passive aggressive. They have a giving nature where they just want to love you so strong and so much that they get numb to the fact that you are always constantly blaming them, and they start to feel as if it is their fault because they're hearing it so frequently.
Yeah, sometimes you can't hear the noise like that, and you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
But that is hard. So here's the thing: if you care about somebody, and maybe you guys can relate to this, whether somebody is a narcissist or not.
Yeah.
If you care about somebody, usually you see what you want to see. You hear what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And when things don't line up, you make excuses for the other person's actions. And you say, well, they're going through a hard time.
Absolutely.
It's gonna get better. Or well, if they're going through this, I need to give them some space, or I need to give them some leeway because they're going through this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be something. Life happens. Shit happens. Can I say that word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So poop. It happens.
No, you can say shit. It's totally cool.
But it does happen. So
Yeah.
the thing is, how do you move forward in your life if there's always some sort of excuse for you acting not right or having some sort of behavior that's just not really acceptable in society? But there's these people did this or this happened. No,
It's
you
being
gotta
aware.
you got to
You
be aware.
have to be aware
But
of
how do
what
you
you're doing.
right? But how do you treat the people that are important to you when these bad things happen? So
You
to
can make them
me,
aware.
right, you can make them aware, but what
They
I
have
mean
to
is
choose it.
yes. So here's the thing, like let's say you're going out with somebody and they're going through a hard time.
Right.
They can either be a jerk to you because they're going through a hard time, or they could say, I'm going through a shitty time. I don't even feel like I can give that much right now, but I really appreciate you. I may not be able to be there for you in certain ways right now, but like I see you. Bear with me, be a little patient. I got some stuff to work through or work out or deal with, but I see you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. But the thing is that person has to make a choice to acknowledge, appreciate, and be
Oh, yeah.
grateful.
Absolutely.
And with the narcissist, they never are. They never will be, and it will always be
Well,
your
I don't
fault.
know if that's true. That's not necessarily true. So a narcissistic person, if they actually really become fully aware of their behavior and how it is hurting the other person, a lot of times they can, now that they're aware of it, they can know their triggers and they can hear it when it's coming out, and they can be like, oh, wait, I'm working on this.
Oh, well,
be patient with
if
me.
they're in therapy and like getting
Yes.
help for it, but I mean,
Absolutely.
most people will live their entire lives blaming everybody else and not taking responsibility.
Absolutely. And for those, we're speaking to you, go out and seek counsel.
Well, and here's the thing, there's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with getting counseling either.
No.
I feel like talking about stuff is super important. That's what a lot of people don't do. A lot of people have wounds from their childhood, which
Yes.
is what creates the narcissism in the first place.
Right.
I've done a little research recently myself just to kind of understand more, and it seems that there's a thread, which is traumatic things happening, possibly abandonment or other types of things happening early on in childhood where they didn't get the attention or care, or some things happened, and then they have to either be perfect, they can't be wrong, or just a variety of
Oh,
different
yeah.
things. But the thing is, let's say you see that in somebody, you have a choice, and if you understand what it is, you could choose to engage, or you can just say, to yourself, hey, you know I know where this is going. If this person isn't going to hear it, because you can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves.
No,
And that's the other thing. You
absolutely.
can't fix somebody. You
No,
can't.
you have no control over anybody else but yourself.
No, exactly. So so then in that case, it's up to you to decide, am I going to be here for this person that's doing this? Or am I going to go ahead and say, maybe they need more time to, maybe they'll
Work on themselves.
maybe they'll work on themselves and figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you can only do so much. And I think that we feel guilty sometimes for having to step away.
And we shouldn't, because that's giving that time and that it's giving that person the time to really realize, hey, this person's gone. I really had feelings for this person. This
Mhm.
person meant a lot to me. And now what they're thinking about is, okay, well, how can I, reevaluate what I need to do? Maybe I can still be with this person, but maybe she was right or he was right. I just need to work on myself. I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong and stop blaming others.
Well, we would hope so.
Yeah.
But the thing is the reality, the reality is they may never come to that conclusion. And that's what's most hurtful is, this idea of closure, or this idea of, happy ending or somebody coming around.
Right.
Sometimes, and I'm not trying, this is like the truth. And it's like, that's what's hurtful. I have another friend that I was speaking to recently talking about something that happened in her life. And, she's not getting the closure that she was hoping for.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes people
gotta let
don't,
go.
sometimes people don't come around, and then you have to kind of have that closure on with yourself, and then be able to move on and heal from it, and then be able
Right.
to go forward in the world and still be able to show love and trust in people, which is hard.
Yes.
But, and I don't say any of that to be negative, because,
No.
the thing is like, people can say, oh, well, that's negative. Well, no, sometimes it's real.
And being
then-
real that is being real.
That is, and sometimes the reality is it's not great.
No.
I would much rather understand somebody and see and understand the reality. Oh, I have this going on. I have this going on. I have this. Then I can understand. When I can understand, then I can decide how I can handle
Right.
certain things to be able to be empathetic towards what's going on with that person's situation. If they don't share that with me, if they don't let me know, how can I understand?
Right.
And to me, I believe, and and I could be wrong, but to me, everything is you can love somebody, but if you don't want to understand them or if you don't understand where they're coming from, feelings can change. But like respect, trying to understand where they're coming from so that you can be able to just relate.
Right.
How can you grow or move forward if you don't have that? So to me, that's being real about things. I'd much rather see somebody having a horrible time going through the worst part of their lives so I could say, hey, I see you actually like stepping up in the middle of all this crap that you're dealing with
Right.
and like doing the best you can. You're having a hard time, but you're going out there with as good attitude as you can. I respect that.
Right.
And
that's not always hard to, I mean, that's hard to do. That's not always easy to do.
absolutely.
But again, it's your vocabulary too. So when I took out, that's hard. And I said, you know what, I can do this.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Now I can do this. I
mhm.
know I can do this. It's not hard. I was making it hard by putting that in my mindset.
No, absolutely. Well, we can reinvent ourselves anytime.
And anybody can, even somebody that is narcissistic and that has been going through some hard times as well.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. You
It's
just
never
need
too
to
late.
recognize it. And again, being aware of your emotions, being aware of your mindset, being aware of
Your
your
actions.
family, the way you love others, all of those things have a plate. It's again what I said earlier, I think last time.
Mhm.
It's E plus R equals O. Event plus reaction equals outcome.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the outcome really we don't always have control over.
No, and you're not going to know it, but it depends on how you react on the event.
Mhm.
There's going to be an event that's going to happen. There's events that happen constantly. And when I say event, I mean anything that could happen in your life.
Right.
Something great, something amazing, a big stack of money comes in. How are you going to react to that is going to be your outcome. Are you going to be broke because you're so happy to have all that money that you're just blowing it? Or are you going to save it and be smart and have a better outcome?
Mhm.
Right? Everything is an event with a reaction is what is going to become the outcome. So we don't know the outcome, but we do know that there are ways that we can definitely 100% react to that event so much better if we
Mhm.
have a great mindset about it.
This is interesting because it kind of reminds me of how people can get married the first time
Mhm.
and, things don't go well. They live through those things and they're like, "Oh, okay, and now I know." And it's like sometimes that's a horrible thing to say, but sometimes it takes going through that to be able to come out of it and then be able to actually put everything into it the second time around because it's like, "Oh, I learned from these mistakes that I made."
Right.
And I think that happens sometimes when people have a very kind of naive kind of way of thinking about things, and then real life happens, and it is the reactions that we have, and sometimes it's like, oh, well, I could have handled that better. Unfortunately, this person didn't get to experience that.
Yes, yes.
In relationships or friendships or whatever. But then you learn how
Right.
you can handle things better, how your reaction to those things can be better, so that you can have a successful or a more amicable outcome.
Right.
That's
And learning from somebody else, having an open mind is always really helpful on how you react on that event too, right? Because if you have somebody that has been through that experience, right? That I mean, so an example, there is times where I think back of when I lived in Germany. A lot of Germans, they don't get married until they're in their 30s.
smart.
It's so smart. Let me tell you why. Because when we're young, under 30, you're still learning who you are. You're still getting that creativeness out. You're still learning what you want to do for the rest of your life. And let me tell you, it even took me after my 30s to figure that out. But yet I've been married 3 times. Let's think about why that happened. Because I wanted love so badly. But in Germany, they want their career. They want their life set. They have a different mindset than we do here in the States. Here in the States, I feel like we portray to our younger generation with these Disney movies, with all of these things. Now, I know it's not just the movies because they see what's happening in their own household, but they still have and want that fairy tale life story or life, where these beautiful women in these, Disney channels, they find their prince and then they get married.
One day my prince will come.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of times we look too much into, well, I want want that. I want what those two have in this movie or in this storyline or in this book
or in this post.
or
That
in this
looks,
post.
yeah, that looks so perfect on
But it's not.
vacation, but it's not
You don't know
real.
what's going on behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do believe that there's that is something about social media. I mean, it can be absolutely wonderful. Like here we are right now, sharing this with everybody. But yeah, at the same time, you can just definitely put out the the highlights, and the reality is nothing that's displayed for sure.
Right.
Um
And what I meant by that too is like if I had learned and took that advice that I
Yes.
had seen growing up, because I lived in most of my life in Germany, if I had really taken that and brought that back into the States with me and kept that mindset instead of shifting that mindset to go with what everybody else around me here was
What
thinking.
everybody else.
Yes.
That's the culprit.
Yes.
It's sometimes listening to your own voice, because like I've definitely lived my own life that's been kind of weird in comparison to like, didn't tick off the boxes of like what everybody else does. I like didn't do that. So, do I own property? No. Like I lived 12 years in Egypt and 8 years in New York City, you know, um, I did everything backwards, and I didn't do all the typical things. So I kind of came back home and I felt like I was like a weird floating unicorn that didn't belong anywhere because I didn't do those things. But I also listened to my voice. But the
Right.
problem is we listen to everybody else's voice. And that's
Yes.
exactly what Don Miguel Ruiz, or whatever his name is, in the Four Agreements, he talks about that. We listen to the voice of the society,
Yeah.
of the everybody,
Right.
and it tells us what we should do. So like being true to our feelings and our beliefs, we have to listen to ourselves and our feelings, because then you can't regret something.
No.
So but even you having this realization now means every day is a new choice. Every day is a new day to take a step or to take some action. People don't like what is happening with them and they complain. Complaining doesn't really
It doesn't
help.
get you anywhere.
It takes action, and
Yes.
you got to think differently, to do different things, to
Yes.
take action, to have different things.
Right.
And it will happen, slowly, but so I hear that you're taking action for some things.
I am. I'm super excited. I actually went ahead and got my domain name,
Hell yeah.
and I started working on my new website that's going to be coming out for my life coaching. And not only am I going to do life coaching, but you guys, I'm actually going to go back to school.
It's amazing.
And I'm going to
Congratulations.
get my degree in human behavior and counseling, so that I can just have more than just one avenue of really working and talking with people and really understanding what they're going through.
It's incredible.
Thank
What
you.
a huge step. This
I
is so
know.
exciting.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you. I mean, and that's the thing, is it's like the people in your life that support your choices to want to do the best for yourself and
Right.
to better yourself, so you can, be a better friend, be a better, we can go into the world trying to be our best
Yeah.
through doing these things. It's incredible. What a
It is.
wonderful, it's so exciting.
And I'll tell you one of my fears though that was trying to hold me back.
Mm.
It was, I had been hearing a lot of, well, you're in real estate. You need to keep your real estate going. Become a broker, start getting some agents underneath you. And I was listening to a lot of that and saying, well, you don't already have time. You're on the radio. You're a realtor. You're working with the Miss Johnson County. And I love all of those things. However, there's still this one big piece of me that's missing. And I see all these other realtor and agents that are successful in multiple businesses.
Girl, you can do whatever you want.
That's exactly right.
The world
and so
is your oyster.
I had to see that for myself. I had to see, you know what? Why am I listening to this? Why am I holding myself back when I would tell somebody, go for it, go do
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
If that's what you're passionate about and that's what you want, go do it.
Sometimes we have to take our own advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, but I do that too. Sometimes I'll say, okay,
Ah,
I'll like flip it. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to pretend like someone was telling me this story. What would I say to them? And then,
Right.
and then that's what I look at myself in the mirror. This is silly, but I don't care. And then I'm like, okay, if you were telling me a story and I would tell you this, and I look at myself and I tell myself that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, girl, you better,
Oh,
like,
I did.
I just give myself a talking to.
Yeah.
And, because honestly, sometimes, I mean, we know, but here's the thing. okay, you can still be a realtor if you want to, but guess what? You may have so many things that come from your website and from these other things that you may say, you know what, I don't need to do that anymore. And isn't that cool? You can create your own reality. You can make that happen.
So we're going to be right back, guys. We're going to go on a quick little short break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Hello. Welcome back to Positivity Toolbox with your host, Diana Roberts. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneIn, Joco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-839-4245. Again, that's 844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. I love thetiffy.com. We still, Tiffany, I know you're listening. Good morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful. And also thank you. She did say that we cannot fix others. We can offer ideas, but they have to choose the direction they need and want to go. That is absolutely correct.
Yes, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. So we were talking during the break.
As usual.
As usual.
We don't stop talking, guys. Is that a surprise?
No, right? I probably not. To those that know us for sure.
If we ever had a slumber party, we just wouldn't sleep.
Oh, we
would.
wouldn't.
I know.
We'd be up all night. I think this is a future event that we need to make happen.
We could do Positivity Toolbox pajama party.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That would be fun.
I'm down.
We could do an event. Everybody could join. We'll stay in a gym and we'll have pajamas and sleeping bags, and we'll sit up and chat.
Right.
And have snacks.
And maybe have like a little dance off.
Ooh.
like a circle dance off. That'd be cool.
Oh, speaking of
Hey.
dance. Oh,
Yes.
can I bring this
Yes,
up?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Go for it.
So that was organic. Quickly. So the last time I was on, I was talking about the Nutcracker, which happened with Artistic Motion Dance Academy, where I teach, and it was a great success, a wonderful show. I was in Minneapolis that weekend for my company
Yes.
with our show, but the Nutcracker here was great. In case you missed it, or in case you did not miss it, but wanted to do another little fun thing for your kids, or bring some family out, they're doing a really cool thing at the studio. It's called Land of the Sweets Tea Time. And you can meet your favorite Nutcracker characters.
That's
So it's
awesome.
going to be an event. It's Saturday, December 17, at the studio. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. at Artistic Motion Dance Academy. And, like I said, the characters will be there, and it's just going to be a fun event. So whether or not you even got to see the show, if you've got kids that are interested to dance, or just interested, to come and see the characters, I think it's a really cool thing that they're doing. So you can go to Artistic Motion, AMDACADEMY.net, and you can look it up and get all the information there. So
And we'll post it after the show too. I'll go ahead and
Yes,
post that on the show. So
yes.
if you missed writing that down or whatnot, we'll have it in the comments. So
Yeah.
make sure to go to the comments afterwards if you are interested in doing that.
Yeah, Miss Vanessa teaches there on Mondays. I teach jazz and ballet and hip hop and some of the performance group classes, and it's a lot of fun. I love it. It's a good time, and it's always refreshing to work with the kids.
Yes.
And they will try. See, that's the thing too. It's like that thing, the whole thing about attitude.
Yes.
It's like if you give somebody encouragement, they will live up to it. And I see that every day with the kids, and it's so it makes me feel a real sense of purpose to be able to be, like start off their week, with dance. And, I've got some girls that take class like every day. Some of the older girls I do ballet with, and I'm like, okay, let's set our intentions for the week. Like, let's, we're going to work on this, and they're really improving. And it's just incredible to see them grow and improve. And I feel like, even if it's just a little thing like dance, we could take those ideas and put them into the lives of other people, and hopefully help them, have good memories and remember what they learned in class is kind
Yeah.
of what you can learn in life.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that. I learned a lot when I was ballroom dance instructing.
Yeah.
I became a counselor then. I think that's when I had a passion for it at that point.
It's really interesting how much we have in common. I mean, our lives were two totally different places, different countries,
Yeah.
going through all different things, but it's like when we met each other, we were like kindred spirits,
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
it's like, oh, good. We found each other, you've got the dance. And I do believe that, dance is something, a lot of people are afraid to do that, or they don't like, oh, I don't like it. I'm not a good dancer. I got 2 left feet. It's like, oh, well, you're telling yourself that, therefore you are a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. I would tell people that all the time. I'm like, you do not have 2 left feet. Like, I don't know who told you that. You just need to, like, everything, even playing a sport, you still have to learn how to play the sport and learn the dynamics of it, learn the basics
Practice.
of it, and practice.
The problem is people don't want to practice. I mean, that's kind of like anything these days. Like, people just want the instant gratification without, it's like relationships. They want the instant gratification without putting in any work. And they want some sort of amazing result with 0 effort.
And that's not how it works, people. Just
Sorry,
letting you know.
I hate to break it down. This is positivity. It's called reality as well.
Positivity, reality,
Yeah.
positivity. Yes,
but
exactly.
it's true. It's like
It
you
is.
kind of get out of something what you put into it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, when it comes to dance though, I really do believe that it does bring happiness. It like exercise.
Yeah.
Makes people releases endorphins. Like, it's a great thing. You should still continue to teach.
Oh, I know.
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
one night a week, because
I
think of
do.
all the
I miss
interesting
it.
people you'll meet that way.
Right. I miss it. I really do. I miss it a lot.
Maybe
It's
we
been a
should
while
do-
though. I feel like I would need like a refresher.
No, this is what we're
I
gonna do.
would.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna organize an event. Maybe we can make it like a monthly thing somewhere
Oh.
here. We need to talk to the people in Burleson that have like some cool, like the winery or someplace.
Right.
People, listen,
Or even the market.
whatever.
Like dance in the middle of the market.
Well, they do
Put
things
a
like that
dance
for a
like-
festival, which is super cool, and we could have
Right.
that when it gets warmer. But I'm saying, like, what if we had some sort of event like once a month where it was like little mini dance classes with like wine tasting or something
Ooh,
fun like that.
yes. I like that.
What's that winery in Burleson?
Lost Oak Winery.
Okay, Lost Oak Winery people, we have an idea for you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so
there is a new winery too that opened up. I think we need to research that one. I need the name. Tiffany, if you're still listening, what is the name of that new winery that's out here too?
I mean, I love the idea of the outside thing, but I think we need to wait until the spring. So we could also make that come to fruition. Perhaps we can talk to the people that are doing some of these spring events, because there's always some festivals going on. And I think that's wonderful. That would be like a fun thing. You know what I loved? Okay, so one of my friends, one time I went and met her out in Ennis for that, it was like that Polka Fest thing.
Oh, yes. I love it. It's
my
so
goodness.
fun.
So you're in, so there's these big ballroom things. I'd never been to anything like this. You know, it is just contagious, like the happiness, like to watch these people. And then, you know, I had a couple people take me out on the dance floor for a spin. I mean, we were going so fast. I was like, I feel like I'm going to have a car wreck with myself here. I was like, I don't mind driving fast, but it was like, I was like, I'm trusting this person. I'm moving backwards at a very high velocity here. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. I was like, I sure hope I don't hit anybody, because, you know, but anyway, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it is. It's so much fun.
Social dancing. It's just so great. You know, another cool place, I actually got to guest bartend there recently, was Guitars and Cadillacs.
I have not been there in forever. I'm going to have to come visit you.
They do. Yes. Well, I'm not there very often now, because I just fill in when they need me. But the cool thing about that place is they've got like free reservations for birthday parties and things like that. The owner, Jessica, she's amazing. She's just a really cool lady. It's been a pleasure to work with her, and I'll be there sometimes. Like I've got something booked for next year in April when people are going out of town. So, you know, I'll fill in some, but it's a wonderful place to do an event. Like they have like wedding, you know, like people will come like do a little wedding party, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, birthdays, free reservations. You know, they'll decorate a little section for you. It's so cool. But the point is, it's got a wonderful dance floor, and they play top 40 and they play country. So they've got dance classes there on Fridays. And the lady that teaches, it's Terry, and then her husband. Anyway, they do all different types of dancing. So, you know, they might do country western, they might do swing, they do different things, and it's wonderful. And you get a nice crowd of people social dancing, and it's just you know, it's good people watching, but it's a wonderful place. Great food. My friend Park does the little food truck, little food cart thing there. It was delicious.
Sweet.
Yes, but I mean, it's
I feel
such
like this
a fun
is a date
time.
night for my husband and I.
Yes, it's a
babe,
great
date night.
yes, it's a great date night place. It's a great place to go, but it's fun because it's social dancing, and I feel like that is missing a lot now these days,
agree.
especially after COVID. A lot of stuff just kind of disappeared, and people have lost that touch, that connection, and it's just so much fun. So like when I was talking about the Polka Fest and how much fun it was, I was smiling, you know, that is what this place is like. And you just feel that wonderful vibe of like people just having a great time. And you know, it's a nice adult crowd. It's very safe there. You know, they've got wonderful police officers there for security. Nothing bad ever happens. I mean, they take care of everything. So it's just a great place to be. So yeah.
Date night. I'm loving it. Friday night. What are we doing?
Yes. I'm actually going there tomorrow to help her decorate for the Christmas stuff. She always goes all out for the decorations. It's so much fun. We had a glow party in September. It was like a neon thing where they did black lights, and we wore like neon colors and glow in the dark. It was so cool.
I did bingo at glow in the dark recently here in Burleson. That was fun.
Ooh,
that was fun.
Do you know
I still
what?
have the daubers, the fluorescent daubers.
I love it. You know, I feel like, I got this really cool cowboy hat that's a neon thing. It's got a little battery in it, and it lights up all around.
That's cool.
And it's like a LED. It looks like a neon sign. Yeah, it's called neon cowboy. Anyway, I was just thinking for your next bingo or your next event.
Yes.
Boy, I feel like I'm walking advertising. I'm really not. You know what this reminds me of? Did you
I
guys
feel like
ever
you do.
see-
Like I'm gonna
did you-
have to get in touch with Guitar and Cadillacs now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get
Promotion Dance Academy.
Yeah, and the 4 elements.
Yeah,
like the writer.
the 4 agreements. But you know what's so funny is, did you ever see Wayne's World where Garth is like, oh, you know, he's talking about like people selling out, and he's wearing like all Reeboks, and he's like, oh, and he puts his shoes up on the table. He's like, I hate it when people sell out. And then he opens the pizza box, and it shows like the advertisement. He's like, I have a headache, and then Wayne gives him, he's like, oh, do you have some Excedrin, little yellow, different, or whatever that
I haven't seen
medicine
it in
was.
so long. I
But
could not
anyway, it
help
was
you
so
with that.
funny when he was like acting like he hates people who sell out and advertise, and that everything he was doing was like one big advertisement.
Right.
Anyway, sorry,
That's crazy.
I had a
it's all
moment.
good.
It was a moment.
But I do I think that would be awesome to get in touch with them and say, hey, this
We
is a
could-
great place to market your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is, and I could definitely help them with that if they wanted. But we were talking earlier. I got to bring this back up because I'm super
Okay.
excited. So Jay Shetty is one of my biggest I'm his biggest fan. I listen
an
to all of his things.
inspiration
He's an
to you.
inspiration to me. Yes, very much so. The fact that he was a monk for 3 years and and put everything aside, that's huge to me. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I did not know that because he's
Yes.
married now, but he's so cute. And
he's so cute.
His wisdom, he just seems so
He's so
kind.
wise.
I
He's
just want to
kind.
give him a hug.
I know. I always want to hug him every time I hear his voice. I'm just like, oh, you're just your energy is so amazing. We match
He's a
energies.
beautiful soul.
Yes.
We need to get him somehow on the show.
I would love that. That's what we were talking about. I
We're
would
putting
love to
that
have Jay Shetty.
out into
We're
the
putting that out
universe.
into the universe. Jay
Jay
Shetty.
Shetty.
If you were listening, please come on my little radio show for me, please. I mean, it's a big radio show.
And
It's
even
awesome.
if you're not listening, come on anyway.
Yes, I would love
Come
that.
on, Jay Shetty.
Yes, we would love to meet you personally. So,
You got to
but I
put
do
it
I
out
listen to him.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anybody knows Jay Shetty that's listening, let me know.
Yeah, hook us up.
Hook us up.
We're in Burleson, Texas, but
right.
we could do it remotely. We do. I teach dance classes over Zoom now. Like anything
Yes.
is possible.
Yeah, we can definitely do
We
it.
could do a
I can do it
Zoom
from everywhere.
call.
We did some of my shows, or we did a show live at Miss Texas. I ran that one while I was there
Badass.
last year, and so yeah, it was actually really cool.
Did you get some of the contestants on?
I did. Not too terribly many. I'm trying to remember. I did get one young lady that was going to be. She was the Lone Star Princess, but this year she is actually probably competing at my competition, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, tell us about because when is that?
It's February 5th.
Okay, so and what's it called?
It's called Miss Johnson County.
Okay, so
Beyond the Crown.
Beyond the Crown.
Yes.
It sounds like I love it. Dun dun dun.
Right. Dun dun dun. Because
So
it is.
the crown.
It's more than just the crown. It's not about their beauty. These aren't beauty pageants anymore. Maybe they may have had that stigma and started as that in the past, but now these young girls actually inspire me. A lot of my inspiration of just breaking out of my shell here recently was because of these girls too, because they're doing it daily at their young age, and it's like, what?
And then just
if they can do it,
yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the thing too. Like sometimes I feel like my 18-year-old self would just go, to shake her finger at
Right.
some of the things and just be like, girl, who are you? Like,
Right.
don't forget, because the younger kids, I do feel like they've got this, I mean, some of them will just sit there and play video games, but others will go out there and really, have a sense of purpose. Like, like
Yes.
these kids that like raise money for, for the hungry. There was some
Yes.
kid that I forgot, it was something I saw on Instagram, but he like raised all this money and got all this like corn for all these homeless people. Like it was
Aw.
like it was notable. I mean, it was like on the news. But this child, like, I just love it when these kids will make something and be like, oh, I'm donating this to a charity. It's like
beautiful.
It's not about them. It's about the bigger picture. I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
tell us about this pageant.
So, okay, so we're going to have it on February 5th, and girls from the ages of 13 to 26 get to compete. And so they still have time to get ready. If you are a local girl here in Johnson County, you are more than welcome to come and compete. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. My number is all over Google. So if you look up Diana Roberts, you will definitely find me somehow.
Well,
or
is there a
shape form,
website
or
or something that they could?
We do. I have, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram
What's it called?
page. It's called Miss Johnson County Texas Organization.
Miss Johnson County Texas Organization.
Yes.
That's how they can look you up. And
That's how
find
they
the
can look me up.
information.
Yes.
So what are the categories these days for things like that?
So the categories, so for teen, they have a fitness portion of it where they can wear a tank top, or they can wear a sports bra with some workout pants or even shorts, and some, tennis shoes. Of course, they come out and they just kind of walk the stage, and we give them an example of how they need to walk the stage so they know what they're doing. But they come out there and they do it their way, and everybody kind of comes out a little different, which is awesome.
Do they have a talent section? Like
They
where have to
do.
dance
Yes,
or sing?
absolutely. Absolutely. There is a talent section. There is also a interview question. that is on stage, and then an interview question that's backstage with the judges. And then they have a red carpet where they come out in their beautiful beautiful gowns, and they just really walk the stage, and with their confident, amazing, beautiful presence is what they're being judged off of.
That's really cool. Now, I have a question. So it's such a huge age range, 13 to 26. That's 13 years. So, like,
Right.
you have somebody that's like half the age of the 26-year-old. How can you, like, that's such a huge age range. How can you judge between those?
So there's teen and there's miss.
Oh, they have different categories.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
13 to 17 is teen,
Okay.
and then 18 to 26 is miss.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. What do they have something for like over 40?
Actually, they do. It's called Mrs. I have
What
thought
if you're
about
not a
doing it.
Mrs. and you want to do it and you're
No,
not a Mrs.?
that's what it is. It's Mrs.
Oh.
If you're in our age group, you
Oh.
absolutely can. Yes,
Oh,
I've
hell
already
yeah.
thought about doing it.
Ooh, girl.
Yes, yes.
Ooh, maybe
I
we
thought
get.
about-
I'm gonna get ready. Next year, I'm gonna be in the Mrs. Oh,
Right.
that'd be fun.
Well,
Why
and you
not?
can go as you are. Like, I mean, there is no. It's just like how it is with these younger girls. Although you have the option with Mrs. to go in the bathing suit. You can be in the bathing suit, or you cannot. I'd probably choose not.
I mean,
I've
if
had
it was
kids,
this year,
so.
I'd probably wait. I get a whole year to
Right.
be like, I'll be up in the gym just
Yes.
working on my fitness.
I was
Yeah.
going to do it last year. Actually, I think I was going to do it 2 years ago, but then I had that ankle. I had that
Oh,
accident, and so I've been, had the surgery, and I was like, yeah, this is not. I really don't want to go up there. Like, I want to be able to wear heels. So I'm getting to the point now where I can actually start wearing heels again.
Yes.
Not as high as I'd like still, so I'm working on it.
Yeah,
but
but your health and your
Yeah.
things working right is more important right
absolutely.
now. Step by step. I
Right.
almost said shwaya shwaya, which is Arabic for little by little. See, that's the
Oh,
thing that
shwaya
happens
shwaya.
sometimes. Shwaya shwaya.
I like that. Shwaya,
Yeah.
shwaya.
But that's the thing that happens to me sometimes. Like I'll want to say, like, there'll be the perfect expression and then it'll be like in Arabic or something. And it's just weird. Like it'll pop up just sometimes like out of nowhere. And
Oh, I do it all the time. I have like a British
'Cause you-
accent that comes out all the time. I have a Russian accent that comes out all the time. And then I speak German, or I'll even speak Spanish.
how many languages do you speak?
I speak German and
Fluently,
English,
yeah.
yes. And then muy poquito español, muy poquito. And but my accent's very good.
my Arabic accent wasn't too bad, but I also learned everything just kind of in passing. Like I never went to school for it, so I didn't really learn how to write it, or read it. I can only sign my name. So when I did acting, when I did some plays, I had to write out the words that I was supposed to say phonetically.
Yeah.
So I would understand what I was saying and I'd understand what the other person was saying to me, but I just couldn't read Arabic. So I would write out the words the way I would needed to memorize how it sounded. And then I was off book like immediately
That's awesome.
because it wouldn't help me even if they brought me the writing because I couldn't read it.
Right.
So,
So I was like,
yes, but that's funny.
I'm working on this. Okay, guys, give me some time. I got this.
Well, I'm going to go back to this pageant thing though. I think that'd be a really cool thing for you to do.
Yeah.
And a wonderful way for you to promote your your new business and your website and all this other stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ooh, maybe we need to do that for next year.
I'm
maybe we need to
really
make an
thinking about it. I
agreement
would
to
like to- okay. All right.
I mean, I don't
We'll
know when
make a
it's going to
commitment.
be, but yeah, let's find out when it is.
I'll find out.
I'll
find
get
out.
on. I'll get the best trainer in town.
Right. My best coach. I've
Yeah.
already got a couple actually.
Mm.
So for my girls. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, one actually I'm actually been in communication with for my girls so that I can start promoting him as a coach for them if they need one.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's so funny because it's like, I think, after COVID, I love that we could just wear leggings. Like I love active wear. I'm either like usually, full on, like, sequins, rhinestones, costume, full makeup, or I'm
Yes.
extremely casual.
Right.
It's like, it's like active wear or, like black tie or work.
Right.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's great though that, activewear and all that stuff. But I think during COVID, a lot of people, they did some at home workouts and stuff like that. But it's great now that like gyms are back, classes are back, people are
Yes.
doing things.
I'm getting back into Hot Works tomorrow. I kind of slacked off a little bit, but I am going tomorrow.
That's so funny. I was wearing the Hot Works sweatshirt yesterday at the gym.
Were you?
Yes. And I was, because this one girl was saying that she had trouble sweating. And I was like, maybe you should go into the sauna. And then we started talking about it. And then it was so funny because I was wearing, it was like another Wayne's World moment of like, I'm not trying to
Promoting.
advertise. I was literally wearing, I was like, you should go to Hot Works. And then I realized I'm wearing the Hot Works sweatshirt. I was just like, oh my goodness.
But that goes based off of what we've been talking about today is experiences, and being there and being present when you're sharing what your story is to help somebody else and their open-mindedness to it.
Yes. And so,
Right?
yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think that, sometimes we're put in people's paths
For a reason, absolutely.
just to share a little something, if somebody goes, hey, I was having a bad day, and I'd be like, oh, well, this is a great book that I've been reading, or, oh, hey, I'm not getting what I need out of my workout. And I'm like, oh, well, try this place. Sometimes I feel it makes me feel useful if I can recommend something.
Absolutely.
That's up to them what they're going to do with it, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think about all the people that tried to help me when I first got to New York. I did not want to be told because I thought I knew everything. I was 22. What did I know? Zero. I knew that much. And for those of you who can't see me, I'm holding up a big fat zero.
Zero.
But I thought, that I knew, my path and what I was going to do. And, it's silly looking back, but there were a lot of people that tried to give me great advice. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready to hear it. Looking back now, I'm like, oh, that was some good advice. Better late than never. And it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Never too late. So, you could say.
And a lot of times that's an excuse that we use too for the longest. Like I know I use that for the longest time. I'm like, I'm too old.
No.
It's too late.
You're never too old to be fabulous.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I know better now, but
Yeah.
yes, I did. I felt that way for a little bit. I did.
Well, it's funny. When I was 22, I thought I was too old to do a lot of things. I look back, I'm like, ha.
I was so ready for
Yeah,
that.
yes, like I was perfect for that, except for I got my, like sometimes we sabotage ourselves.
We
or,
do.
Or we
Absolutely.
tell ourselves these things. And again, then they become self-fulfilling prophecies. So
Yeah.
what we tell ourselves
Is
really
what we put into work.
It really matters.
Yeah.
Because we are a reflection of what we think about ourselves.
Absolutely.
So like you taking that step and doing that jump, like you realize, hey, I can do this and I can change my course and I can create a new reality that may or may not have the components of what's happening now. But, it's scary. Change is scary. It's much easier to sit there and not do anything, not take action. Much
right. And
easier.
be comfortable and be complacent, but those aren't
Much
where you want to
easier.
be.
Well, right. It can be easier, but it's also, how do you feel about yourself later? Then do you have regret?
Right.
So I think it's better to do what you're doing, which is, take a risk. I mean, you can't lose anything from educating yourself and learning more about the craft that you care about, learning more about
Absolutely.
helping others, learning more about how you can give great advice and guide people. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, if anything, you might even be able to appeal to some people that you're showing a house to.
Absolutely. I do that all the time, actually, too.
That's why you're so successful.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's what you put out there.
It is 100%.
If somebody doesn't feel that they can trust you, I mean, would you buy a house, something expensive like a house, from somebody that wasn't putting out a good vibe?
Right. No, you would not.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's hard enough anyway. It's life is, can be not easy. So yeah, I would definitely, what you're doing is setting yourself up for more wonderful things. I think it's incredible. And also, again, here you are giving people guidance, right? And you
Right.
said that you felt stuck in your own thing, but we're all human beings. We
Oh, yeah.
all have that.
Absolutely.
I think we grow up with this idea that like,
A counselor or
when you
psychiatrist
reach-
knows all what they
yeah,
need to
and
know,
then,
and they
then they
live
don't
it.
go through any sort of life
They do.
things, but we all do. We all go through those.
Exactly. Okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure I don't forget that. I had a very important phone call that I missed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
That's-
It always happens, I feel like. But that's okay.
Yeah. That's the thing too about the phone and the office hours.
Yeah.
Like people emailing you at all. I mean, I'm the worst. Something will pop into my head. I'll just send a text message or an email, just
Mhm.
thinking to myself, oh, let me just send that out there.
Yeah.
Not realizing that person may get that email at 4 a.m. and just get stressed out.
Yeah, timing is everything, I feel too, but and that's why I really like my time blocker. My time blocker has been huge for me. I know I've talked about this already a lot. I think we're almost out of time though, so I'll talk to you more about the time blocker next time.
No, but I think it's so cool because then you kind of prioritize.
Yes, and I have a checklist, and I have what time I'm going to be doing this, and because time management has always been like a huge issue for me, and it has definitely set me back in a lot of things that I was supposed to be accomplishing. and that I could have accomplished. So when I learned how to manage my time a little bit better, because I said, why would I work harder for somebody else besides and not work as hard for myself?
Exactly.
Right.
There you go. And
Yeah.
and that's a great way to close it out. Like we're
Yes.
all working on ourselves
Right.
each week,
That's right.
every day, and every way. We're getting better and better.
Have a wow week, guys.
Have a wow week.
Wow week. Woo!
Thank you.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetics, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork,